Good morning, everybody. I'm Chief Executive Officer of Sound Transit, Peter Rogoff, and I want to welcome everybody here. You know, it was just 15 months ago that we were here to celebrate the groundbreaking of the bike and pedestrian bridge that's going to feed folks from North Seattle Community College and the surrounding areas to this station. 15 months ago, we had no idea what would befall us and how our world would change over the course of the last year. We had to bring 80% of our construction all across the Sound Transit District to a sudden halt when the pandemic hit. But when Governor Jay Inslee restarted construction, we were able to get back up and running quickly. We did it under the strictest safety precautions to build the transit system that the voters of Puget Sound have insisted on. The only reason we're here today is because of the dedicated professionalism of the Sound Transit staff, of our construction workforce, and our contractors. And the same can be said for all the construction progress we continue to see through the pandemic in Bellevue, and Linwood, and Des Moines, and Tacoma, and Redmond, and Kent, and Shoreline, and Mercer Island, and Federal Way. Our people are persisting through a pandemic to get these projects done. Today's major announcement is really something to celebrate. And I think we could all agree that after the brutal year we've had, we could all use something to celebrate. The region's really going to get a booster shot with this announcement. And with that teaser, I want to introduce the Vice Chair of the Sound Transit Board and King County Executive, Dow Constantine.
Well, thank you so much, Peter. This is an exciting moment to be surpassed only by the moment when we are able to begin service here at Northgate. We really are on the brink of transforming our region. The pandemic has not shaken our vision, it's sharpened it. We're about to give Puget Sound a big shot in the arm. We know more than ever we need to be resilient. A regional transit network that provides congestion-free travel is absolutely central to that resiliency. Many people are trying to guess exactly when we will stand back up, brush off, and get fully back to living our lives again. Well, let me mark one date for you on that journey, a milestone on our region's comeback tour. October 2nd, 2021, the Northgate, Roosevelt, and U District stations will be open for business. It's 4.3 new miles of light rail with service every few minutes, all day, every day. It's going to run 55 miles per hour underground, and you are never going to get stuck in Ship Canal traffic again. It's a continuous 8-mile subway tunnel from here all the way to the Chinatown International District. And in just 18 months after Northgate opens, we'll add a second line with 10 new stations in Seattle and Mercer Island and Bellevue and Redmond. And then in 2023, riders standing here at Northgate can take one line south all the way to Angle Lake, or the 2 line across Lake Washington. And a year after that, in 2024, and listen to this, Link is going to extend all the way to Federal Way, all the way to downtown Redmond, all the way to Linwood. This is a remarkable transformation for our region. How remarkable? Just think about it in terms of miles. We're going to nearly triple the amount of miles in the system in the next 3.5 years, from 22 miles today to 62 miles in 2024. That is simply transformational. Not only would this region be in business again, we will be doing business better. It's not just about light rail. It's about all the connections our regional network enables. Right here at Northgate, what has already been a critical transit hub for decades is now going to be even more important. We're joined here by Terry White. Terry White is the general manager of Metro Transit, and Metro's changes here will be massive as well. The brand new transit center at this station with the old one repurposed for much needed bus layover space. King County Metro will work with Sound Transit to move our service change date from September for Northgate to October 2nd. So we're all synced up to make sure that our combined networks roll smoothly from day one. Now, several new bus routes are going to serve North Seattle and these 3 new light rail stations, and some routes will change to take maximum advantage of the new service. So consider this. 2 weeks after this station opens, all those Husky fans and a tiny handful of UCLA fans will be able to come to these light rail lines and in just a few minutes be at the front door of Husky Stadium. And even more impressive for those of you who've tried to get home after a Husky game to the north, they'll be able to do the same thing going the other direction. As the Sound Transit Link Light Rail network expands further southward and soon in other directions, we're updating the rest of the mobility network to ensure a seamless passenger experience, no matter where you live. So again, I am so excited to return here with you on the 2nd day of October to cut the ribbon and welcome riders aboard. I'll turn it back to Peter. Thank you.
Thank you, Dow. It's also worth pointing out that on October 2nd, when we are here celebrating the opening, the Washington Huskies will be pulverizing the Wolverines of the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. It'll be a day to remember. We at Sound Transit don't just come in and build a project in a city by ourselves. The most important partner in any project when we build it is the city in which we build it. And no partner has been better in making this a reality than the city of Seattle. People have no appreciation for the multitude of departments in a city that have to help us get projects in the ground between visioning, planning, permitting, construction oversight, and then facilitating getting everybody here. I really want to thank our next speaker, Mayor Jenny Durkan, for her partnership in getting us to this point. And with that, I'm going to recognize Seattle Mayor and Sound Transit Board Member Jenny Durkan.
Thank you so much, Peter. This is really a great day. I agree with Dow on most everything except for welcoming UCLA fans. I'm not sure about that. Look, transit is critical in our fight against climate change. If we want to excel as a region on that front, we have to have better transit. But it's also so important to everything else we do, to getting together with friends or family, to getting to a job, to getting to education. And we are seeing now the economy in the world is shifting. Those people most competitive will no longer be great cities, but great regions. I and Executive Constantine grew up here, and we saw how we missed the earliest opportunities to have mass transit in this region, and we are catching up, but we are catching up fast. And I think that this is emblematic of what great cities and great regions do when things get tough. You don't stop. You find a way to make it happen. And this last year has been the most challenging that our city and our region has ever had. But we came together as a board of Sound Transit and we figured out how do we continue, how do we make sure we get this done. You know, and we'll face similar challenges in the coming months when we see that our budget for transit organizations, whether it's Metro or Sound Transit, are challenged. But that's the time we have to make sure that we dig deep and believe in the vision that we have to have a vibrant transit system for this region. I couldn't be more proud to be on this board and more proud of the voters who supported this, who had the vision to know that our city and our region absolutely needed this transit facility, that we needed ways to get quickly from Tacoma to Everett, from Bellevue to Seattle, or any place in between. And we're seeing that it isn't just about transit. At every hub, we're creating community. If you think about what will be here when we open, you can have kids, or young students, I should call them, Seattle public school graduates who are able to go to North College free because voters believed in them too. Or they come over and they go to the new ice rink for the Kraken because it will be here. There'll be low-income housing that the county and city are developing together so that everybody can enjoy the opportunities in this great city, in this great region. That's what each of these hubs represents. Around it is community, but it connects community. So I couldn't be more excited about this. I can't wait to be back here to actually cut the ribbon and for people to be able to get on these trains. And I know Paul Roberts can't wait till we can get further north so that we are able to finally connect all parts of our region together and stand together. Because truly, our future is linked, and now it will be linked by Transit 2. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. Our future is linked. We're going to steal that line.
There you go.
Paul Roberts is approaching one of the longest-serving members of our board of directors, and he currently serves as the vice chair for Snohomish County. When we open this service, a number of Sound Transit buses that come down from Snohomish County will actually unload people here to board light rail and avoid all that I-5 traffic between here and downtown. The same will be true for community transit, and I really want to thank Rick Ilgen-Fritz, not a stranger to Sound Transit, but also the new general manager at Community Transit, as a partner who's also going to work with us to seamlessly get Snohomish County residents to where they want to go. With that, I want to recognize Paul Roberts, the vice chair of this Sound Transit board and member of the Everett City Council.
Well, thank you, Peter, Dow, Mayor Durkan. I want to amplify something Mayor Durkan said. This is how you decarbonize a transportation system, and we need to do that as fast as we can. So it's really great to be here today. No, I don't care how cold it is. Anytime I can celebrate moving north, I will come down and celebrate moving north. And so I'm excited to be here today. What will happen from here is that once we open this system, within about 3 years, we will be opening Shoreline, Montlake Terrace, and then to Linwood. And the kind of transportation coordination that I'm going to touch on here in a moment will then move also further north. This gives people freedom from the uncertainty and unpredictability of I-5 commutes, and my commuters need that because they know they need to be at work on time. They just don't know when to get on a bus to get there because the transportation system is so unpredictable on the interstate. So I'm really excited to be here today. I want to give a shout out to Rick Ilgen-Fritz, who is our new CEO at Community Transit. Boy, are we lucky because we have a guy who's spent years in working in transit and transportation here at Sound Transit, for Sound Transit 2 and for Sound Transit 3, and now helping coordinate Community Transit's bus service to work here with Metro. You know, we have a mantra at Sound Transit, certainly at the board and throughout the system. It is the rider has a seamless experience. And when this system opens, we will have 3 systems: Metro, Mr. White, welcome, Metro, Community Transit, and Sound Transit, all providing that seamless system for the commuters. I also want to give a shout out to the men and women who've built this system, both the labor groups as well as Sound Transit staff. And it's not, while the construction folks are here today doing all the heavy work with all the hard hats, it's also the operators. It's everybody. And so we're testing these systems now. So the construction, when we open up, will be great, but between August and October, we will be testing these systems to make sure the bugs are worked out. These trains will be operating without passengers so that we can make sure that the system has all the bells and whistles, dotting the I's and crossing the T's, and making sure that we are fully operational once we're ready for commuters in October. So I just can't say enough how exciting this is. Mayor Durkan was correct. We missed opportunities in the late 60s. We're playing catch up, but we're playing catch up fast. And I can't wait to get to Everett with this system. So thanks very much.
Thank you, Paul. A little bit over a year ago, Board member Constantine championed a motion through the Sound Transit Board to appoint a labor liaison to the board, something that many other transit agencies have around the state. And we, at that time, couldn't know how fortunate we would be to have the head of the Washington State Building Trades appointed as our labor liaison. Why? Well, we were getting plenty of value and great advice from Mark Riker before the pandemic hit, but when the pandemic hit, and we had to unwind 80% of our construction, we had to work in partnership, the closest partnership we have ever had with our building trades partners to get construction back up and running with the imperative of safety on every job, in every corner of every job, to make sure that we could make all this progress and do it for the health of the folks working on the job as well as their families. We did not want any construction worker bringing COVID back into their household. And Mark has just been instrumental in working with all of the individual unions that bring together and comprise the Washington State Building Trades to ensure that we got this done and got it done right. So with that, I'd like to welcome Mark Riker, our board liaison. Thanks.
Thank you, Peter. Appreciate that. That's very kind of you. It's an honor to be standing with you today on a very celebratory day. When we started that labor liaison role, I do consider it an honor and a privilege to represent workers both in the construction industry that I come from, but also the operations who make the systems run once they're finished and up and operating and serving the citizens of the region. When the pandemic hit, the challenges to the operation systems were devastating. As you can understand, with this sort of challenge, having folks gathered together in very small proximity was unaccomplishable. So it devastated the workers in our operation systems. And we've had serious challenge getting that back and running. But on the construction side, one of the interesting things that happened right after the pandemic was that the governor had the foresight to consult the industry. In construction, see, we deal with an inherently dangerous industry. That is construction. We mitigate dangers on a daily basis so effectively that as a construction worker, you do not realize that you are mitigating danger with every step you take. It's part of your training, it's part of your professionalism. So the governor did a wise thing and brought labor and management together to put out a set of protocols for construction to get back to work rapidly and safely, and as Peter said, for the safety of the worker and the families. That was a key priority for all of us. Now, I come from the construction industry. I'm a sheet metal worker by trade, and while each construction union does it a little bit differently, they all have one thing in common. Safety is it. Safety is our priority on a daily basis. Whether you're an operating engineer in the top of a tower crane, or a laborer down digging the ditch, or the iron workers, electricians, plumbers, pipe fitters, painters, everybody in between, safety is our priority. So when the governor called us all together, mitigating a new challenge was just simply that in my mind. We identified a new challenge, just like safety glasses were in the past. Face masks are now. Social distancing is a part of our career now. So we were able to go from 80% reduction in the ability to perform our work back to about 80% up and running within about a 5-week period of time, and continue performing the important tasks for society that our members perform, and having our portion of the economy up and rolling as fast as possible to serve the state. We're very proud of that, and I want to thank each and every construction worker out there who put up with these annoying protocols that we put in place. Thank you for doing that. You put us back in and saved Washington's economy to a large sense. Another component of this celebration of this opening of this project that we need to acknowledge is diversity and equity. Obviously, we in the building trades openly acknowledge that in years past and decades past, we were on the wrong side of the diversity and equity argument as an industry. The leaders of those times and in those eras, they lived and served the challenges of those times and those eras. That is not this time and this era. The leaders that I am fortunate and privileged enough to serve with today, we understand it. and we are solving that problem. I lead with folks who are rising to the challenge, and diversity, equity of opportunity is not something we talk about. It is a priority and a goal. All of my labor leaders that I serve with speak it, walk it. They walk the walk, talk the talk, and it is something that we accomplish with our quality partners in the city of Seattle, the King County, Everett, Sound Transit. And this project came in with 5 million labor hours worked. 31.5% of those hours are worked by people of BIPOC, from the BIPOC community. That is really making progress. And while we in the building trades are proud of that, we acknowledge that is only progress. We are not there yet. And even though we're proud of the progress, I'm even more proud of the acknowledgement that it is not done. We have work left to do. And so as we're celebrating this, I want to move forward saying, Tacoma, we're coming your way. In 2 years, we'll be celebrating, and we'll be highlighting even more progress in both of those areas. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mark. We're going to take questions in just a moment, but before we do, I do want to acknowledge the remarkable contributions of our contractors who've done some extraordinary work on this project. This station that we are standing in was built by Absher Construction. JCM Northlink LLC was the firm that constructed the tunnels that form much of this project. Hoffman Construction deserves credit for building the U District Station and Roosevelt Station, and you'll get to see those very soon. And Stacy Whitbeck has been responsible for the project's track work. It takes a lot of players, it takes a lot of partners, and we just couldn't be more proud to deliver this to the riders on October 2nd. And with that, we're happy to take any questions.
They just want to know when they can ride.
October 2nd? I'm sorry?
They,
Jobs plan, will it help Sound Transit 3? American Jobs plan, will it help Sound Transit 3?
We certainly hope so. We have been working with the Biden administration and have already had a number of meetings with staff of the White House, as well as the U.S. Department of Transportation and the acting FTA administrator. We have been making the point repeatedly that many of the goals that President Biden has articulated in the American Jobs Plan, sustainability, equity, decarbonizing the transportation system, is precisely what we do here at Sound Transit. So we are going to work every possible opportunity to benefit from whatever infrastructure package comes through Congress.
I want to add just one thing to that. I was really fortunate to be talking to Marty Walsh, who's the new Secretary of Labor. And one thing they're going to do in this jobs is to invest in more apprenticeship programs so that we can get youth. And you know how important that is. That's a step to equity. We've got amazing apprenticeship programs here, but it will help us top to bottom, not just getting us money for this great transit organization, but to make sure that we've got a really equitable workforce to get it done. So it's going to be great.
Any other questions?
All right, everybody, ride in October. Root for the Huskies.
Thank you, everybody.